This is our first adventure and attempt at video logging a bike trip. Inspired by the motovloggers we follow on YouTube, we decided to have a go ourselves. How difficult could it be? We quickly realised the challenges and have been learning ever since. We started by just using our phone cameras. Thankfully for you, these first videos are not very long. Don't worry, the production and presentation gets better. Please join us on our motorcycle touring trips that we call adventures. As you journey with us on the bike, you will hopefully see the improvement in our production and presentation skills. The first adventure is also the maiden voyage for the Honda Cross Tourer, purchased just a few weeks beforehand. We're not new to motorcycling and have been riding since we met in the 1980s. The idea for this adventure is simple. We are attempting to ride the entire coastline of Great Britain. The reality is much more difficult. Firstly, there is no definitive coast road. We will have to navigate as best we can along roads that follow the coast. Inevitably, there will be compromises. In order to complete the trip around our busy lives, we will have to do it in stages over a period of time during which other adventures will come along. To make progress, we will occasionally cut a few corners, but on the whole, we intend to experience the entire coastline eventually. Okay, so today's the day the adventure starts. The preparations ended and that adventure begins. This is the first maybe of many days of touring the UK, our home country, around its coastline. We live on the coast in the town of Weston-super-Mare. Within minutes we were riding along the beachfront. Like many, if not all, of Britain's seaside resorts, Weston came to prominence in the Victorian era when ordinary people first started to travel. The Industrial Revolution had made it possible in three ways: the building of the railways, disposable income, and the concept of leisure time. The tourist industry was born and gradually grew from day visitors and the wealthy to extended stays for the working class that became known as holidays.
The first day or so is familiar territory as we grew up in the southwest and know these places quite well. We are fortunate to live close to some stunning scenery. From Weston-super-Mare we headed south, taking the anti-clockwise route around the coast. Having had a short ride along Brean Beach, we pressed on, joining the A39 at Bridgewater. The A39 is a great road that eventually ends in Cornwall and provided the basis for our trip today. At times it is the closest road to the coast, but not always, so we regularly ventured off it. The seaside resort of Minehead is on the A39. Minehead is Somerset's biggest seaside resort. We took a trip to Minehead later in the year. The film we made is coming soon. Shortly after Minehead is Porlock with its famous steep hill. Having ascended the hill, the road winds over the top of the Exmoor Hills that drop dramatically down to the coast. This is one of the best driving roads in England. The road descends into Lynmouth, originally a fishing village but now reliant on tourism. Lynmouth has a tragic story of natural disaster. In August 1952 there was a freak storm. 9 inches of rainfall fell in 24 hours. Lynmouth was by far the worst affected, with 34 people losing their lives. In recent times it's been suggested the storm was caused by secret weather experiments being carried out by the government. There is a memorial in the village. Above Lynmouth is the town of Linton. The two are connected by a very steep cliff railway. And just beyond Linton is the Valley of the Rocks. While Britain may not have the scale of scenery of other countries, it can still claim to possess some very special places, and the Valley of the Rocks is one of them. Because of the geography of the southwest coastline, it is not easily accessible without lots of detours. We spent a lot of time making our way along slow roads, trying to keep on the coast, but at this point in our trip we were starting to realise we were running out of daylight because it was February. Well, that's our excuse anyway for bypassing Ilfracombe. Please forgive us if we've missed some of your favourite places along the way. It's not until we get beyond Devon and into Dorset that more main roads follow the coast. We dropped into Woolacombe, a popular surfers' beach. Then more or less made our way along the A39 to Bude, where we stayed the night. We hadn't pre-booked, but found the Brendan Arms next door to the more expensive Falcon Hotel. The two establishments have actually been run by the same family for over 220 years. This ends our first day of our coast adventure. We rode 157 miles and spent over 5 hours in the saddle. We hope you enjoyed it, and will return as we continue our journey along Britain's coastline.